Let's do some business news now. And Ghana risks a ban on non-traditional exports to the European Union as 322 alerts of contaminated vegetables have been raised in the first half of this year. Well, according to the Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Export Promotion Authority, Gideon Kwaku, this development will make it difficult to achieve the $5 billion target as export proceeds from the sector by 2019 deadline.
The European Union over the years has been the largest market destination for non-traditional export in Ghana. In 2013, Ghana gained $768.6 million. This was increased in 2014 with an amount of $955.9 million, representing 38.03%. This development was mainly due to an increase in the export of cacao paste to France. ECOWAS places second with Ghana as the largest export market destination, representing 30.22% in 2014. However, Ghana is likely to face a ban on non-traditional exports to the EU as alerts of contaminated vegetables have been raised.
If you keep receiving alerts, the target country, that is the country that is experiencing the alerts, will have to act on it. And so when they see a recurrence and a recurrence and a recurrence, then you potentially could even experience a ban of that particular item or items. Of course, that will be dire in terms of its impact on the economy. Because we're talking about an export-driven economy, then that means that the export sector must be robust and free of obstacles and any hindrance.
At the moment, non-traditional exports contribute close to 20% to the country's economy. Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Export Promotion Authority, Gideon Kwaku, recommends that world-class inspection facilities be placed at the airport to conduct vigorous checks before products are granted permit for export.
It would have to be an inspection and quarantine facility that allows for inspectors to use equipment, sometimes sophisticated equipment, to examine items that are brought for inspection prior to being shipped out of this country. In our situation, where we are looking to double our export revenues between now and 2019 and pretty much reach a $5 billion US target, we cannot afford any reductions, period. You know, even without any bans and anything like that, we still have to work like the Dickon.
He called on Ghanaian banks to give maximum support to exporters to help grow the industry. He suggested stakeholders in the export sector pay particular attention to increase supply volumes, ensure high quality standards, and take required risk to embrace market expansion of their product.
In other news, the Africa Center for Energy Policy, ASEP, has called on government to scrap off the 2 weeks review of prices of petroleum products and adopt a daily adjustment, while the energy think tank is of the opinion that consumers will benefit from the realistic price on the world market.
Petroleum products are reviewed every 2 weeks by the oil marketing companies since the implementation of the deregulation policy. The price of petroleum products have been increased by 18% since June 16. The African Center for Energy Policy says Ghanaians would not have been burdened with a higher increment if the adjustment was done daily.
We are advocating that there should be daily adjustment. If you see the effect of daily depreciation in prices, it will not be biting as when they are to take the average, bi-weekly depreciation of the cedi.
ASEP again called on the National Petroleum Authority to take its hands off setting ceiling price for the oil marketing companies. Currently, 7 taxes and levies are being charged by government on the prices of petroleum products. ASEP is calling on the abolishment of 4 of the levies, explaining that the charges only puts burden on consumers.
Government should abolish the following taxes levies: toll debt recovery levy of 8 pesos per litre, the exploration levy, the road fund levy of 7.3 pesos per litre. Bust margin should also be abolished because it is not meant for strategic reserve but for infrastructure.
The energy policy think tank urged the oil marketing companies to reduce the prices of their petroleum products in the next review due to the appreciating cedi.
That's all for business.